Hello, hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Say It Out Loud GG podcast. Today, we definitely have a special guest in the house. But before we get into that, let's thank our sponsor, La Ciencianista, and Anointing by Chris Collins. Thank you for sponsoring this program. And we have Neveah Braywood.
Yeah.
This, yeah, Neveah, oh my God, you see? Oh my God. Neveah,
If I
you
gave
see,
it
and
to you, that would have been worse.
yes, no, and you got to correct me every time. Let me tell you, we just had like a 30-minute session where I'm repeating her name and still got it wrong. But this is the laugh and this is the authentic GG right now, and I wouldn't change that. I'm hot now because I'm like, how did I mess up her name? Of course, but we just met this week, right? Well, last week according to the podcast. So we met last week and this has been great. I mean, our connection, I think it was just immediately, right? So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit, Nevaeh,
Yeah.
about yourself.
Okay, so I am a child of God, first and foremost. I want to say that. I focus pretty much right now, what I'm doing is focusing on healing. I've been on that journey for a while. It's just kind of fluctuated between what I like my main focus is. And so what I'm doing right now is I work with kids through the Right Noodle Left Noodle chess program. And it has just been a blessing. So to be even on this podcast, it was like just opening doors is what is just happening. I'm just like so thankful. But I like to express myself a lot. So I journal, I sing, I dance, and yeah, pretty much that's all.
Oh, and that is amazing. But you are a junior chess
Yes,
coach.
yes.
So tell me a little bit about that and what that intakes, what that looked like.
Okay, so we work within the Brandywine School District in elementary school, so like K through 5. And so my mentor, my boss, she has programs for the kids after school, and she also the summer program that I'm kind of gearing towards taking over. So we have the summer program that's ending now. So the last day will be tomorrow. But this summer we focused on human chess. So human chess is like we have the mats. It's a real life game. The kids turn into pieces, and there's a dance song by a teacher at one of the schools. So that's really fun for the kids because it's like it connects them with someone that they've been like through the whole school grade with. So that's really wonderful.
Oh wow. And that it just sounds amazing. I know that when you were telling me, I was like, what? Like this is amazing. And why chess?
Okay, so that's a funny story because I just volunteer at North Wilmington Library. So I started like last year just coming out because I love reading. So I came to the library and there were different programs. So I saw a chess on the table and it was like, okay, why not just go in there, try to learn chess because I love learning new things. And so one day I go in there and she's teaching me chess. I meet her. It was this Miss Skinner, Lakeisha Skinner. That's her name. Sorry, but it's just a wonderful experience because it's like it challenges you to think. So it's like when you go
Hmm.
into chess, it's like you can try to think ahead to the moves, but at the same time, she teaches us to react to how the player moves like instantly. So let's say a player moves one piece and it's like you're going off their move because you don't know what to do after that. So she was interested in me because I do poetry and that was kind of something that she wanted to incorporate into her program. And
Hmm.
I go to Wilmington University majoring in psychology. So that also she wanted to incorporate as well.
And I think that is amazing. Like just the whole strategy of it, right?
Yeah.
Of chess. I know a little bit of chess, so we have to get together and do this. You're gonna have to teach me how to do this because this is definitely a lifetime relationship that I want to have with you. And throughout and even in your bio while I was reading, you are currently working on a poetry book.
Yes, yes.
Yes, tell us a little bit about that and what inspired you because I
Yeah.
I was so happy for you when you told me. I got so excited.
So what inspired me to do that was actually Miss Skinner, because she wants
Okay.
me to, branch out a little bit more, open myself up a little more. I'm like, okay, it's kind of scary, but I actually did start writing a book like maybe like 2 years ago, but I didn't finish it. So, but I've always loved writing, but poetry was new to me, and I started that recently about a year ago too. But it's
Okay.
just been coming very natural to me. I've always journaled. Like I've always kept a journal. I have like a bag full of journals at home in my closet that's just full of everything, all my poetry, any questions that I ask myself from like shadow work that I do for healing. So it's just been like I was just like, okay, how can I help people? And I prayed about it, and I kind of just wrote down what I was being told. And I feel like that my gift that I've been given is poetry and also listening to
Mm.
people. So for me, poetry is my expression, and it's like you can't, I don't know how to say it. You can't cover it up. Like
Mm-hmm.
it is as it is. Like you can't force it. You can't put anything in it to make it fake or anything like that. But for me, it's just expression and it's art. So I was just
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Poetry is something that comes from the soul. That's how I describe it.
yeah,
Like words, when we speak, they're words, right?
yeah,
But poetry comes from your soul, comes from a space that it's safe within ourselves. That's the way we express ourselves. And that's why when you said that, I'm like, oh yeah, we definitely need this book.
yes.
So when are you looking to launch this book? Like 2025? What are your plans with it?
I think probably maybe a year or two
Okay.
to get it all together, and I do have a title for it.
And you do have a
yeah,
title
yeah.
for it.
So
Okay.
it's cheers to being seen and not just heard.
Ooh,
Yeah.
cheers to being seen and not just heard. Wow.
Yeah, I'm
Drop
so
the
excited.
mic moment.
I'm so excited.
That is amazing. Yeah. Yeah. And I know because I asked her and she's like, well, I don't know. She didn't have it.
Yeah,
You worked on that
yeah,
homework for
it
sure.
came to me. I was like, I'm not gonna force it. I'm just gonna, think about it. Give myself some time, calm down on it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, and just manifest it and keep
yeah,
doing it and keep
yeah,
saying it.
yep,
And because I believe that you have such an amazing gift. Not everybody is about chess, right?
yeah,
Chess is a strategizing game
yeah,
that you have to do, and you have to know how to strategize in order to do that, and what you're doing behind it. And you mentioned something really interesting. As a personal development consultant myself, that you said your healing journey.
yes.
What is your healing journey?
Oh, so it started, I would say, about 2019, because there's always been something that I was dealing with, and it kind of put a rift between me and my mom and my family a little bit because nobody knew what was going on. I didn't even know what was going on. And then all of a sudden, 2019, it was my grandma died right before COVID. So she was like somebody that was with like all the time. Like we were together,
Mhm.
like we were never separate. And then
Mm.
COVID came, and so we were all in the house together. So tensions rise. Like when you have family, like nobody can go anywhere. So that was kind of hard. And so I turned to journaling.
Mm.
And so I look back actually, like I look through my journals to find out like, oh, maybe I can use this today, or how can I learn from that from the past? And so I was looking back and I seen that I wrote affirmations to myself. So they would
Mm.
be like, I am enough, I am loved, I am kind, I am great. And just repeating it over and over and over again. And I was looking back and I was like, I really, because I struggled a lot with low self esteem issues,
Okay.
worth issues, and coming from a single mom household and not having like the father figure that I had, it impacted so many of my relationships because I would be searching for what I was missing essentially, which I didn't know
Mhm.
until I went to therapy. I think about 2021 now. And so from then on, it was like just me journaling. And then I moved into yoga, which I feel
Mm.
like I used to say that that saved my life, but it was actually God, because
Absolutely.
yes,
Amen.
I moved into yoga, and yoga I did that every single day. And when I was maybe in my junior year of high school, I would get up every day 5 a.m. I would go to the track and run. or I would just
Mm,
be outside. I would spend all my time outside or reading.
mhm,
And so I feel like during that time, that was like a season, as you know, people say that was a season I had to go through. And so from then on, it just kind of shifted to like shadow work. So asking myself certain questions about my past, about my childhood, because I feel like all the things that we're dealing with now stem from somewhere, and
yes,
childhood.
absolutely.
Yeah. And I also struggle with my memory because of trauma. So it's hard to try to delve into the past when I don't have all the pieces together. But my
Mhm,
therapist has told me that it's okay. You'll get what you need when you need it. So
mhm,
that's what I have been taught, and just incorporating that and everything. Like, I just started watching podcasts, I started reading books, and so it was just, I was like, for a while, it was like I was just gearing for myself, and then I kind of went off a little bit because school
mhm,
and just building relationships with different people as a teenager, and so
mhm,
trying to navigate that was hard. But I
mhm.
feel like my healing journey has been, it's definitely been a journey. But
Absolutely. Healing is definitely a journey. But the fact that you're doing it, you're so self aware. And I want to congratulate you and
thank
celebrate you in this moment. I don't think that you know the importance of self.
you.
I don't think you realize, not that you don't know. Let me correct myself. You don't realize, like, your age, it took me at least in my 30s
Yeah.
to kind of know what self-awareness was, right? To
Yeah.
kind of self-respect, that self-love and shadowing, right? Understanding that we need to go back, and the fact that you're journaling and doing that, it's something to I congratulate, I celebrate you. I mean, I love you. Like, I love everything about you because you are a leader, and
Yeah.
you're a leader already, and the impact that you're doing. And that is my reason, that is my purpose, like, just to make a whole bunch of you, right?
Yeah.
So like that our younger team don't have to suffer, or it's easier for them to navigate in life, right?
Yes.
And you mentioned something really important, the journaling.
Yeah.
I don't think we take the time out to journal enough.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just writing
Yeah.
um our thoughts, is being able, like you said, go back to them,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Go back
And
to
sometimes
them.
that's
So,
hard.
mhm,
Like, it's like you gotta push yourself to do it because maybe it won't feel good in the moment, but in the long run, it's for
mhm.
your growth.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They're words of wisdom right here. Words of wisdom. Absolutely. So, what are you going to do with all these journals? Do you plan on writing
I
a
was,
book about it?
I was thinking about that. I have so many journals. It's like I feel like I'm gonna cry just thinking about going back in them because it's so many. When I tell you it's so many, it's so many. But I think I will do something with them because I know there's gems in them. So I just have to go through
Yes.
and see what comes to me.
Yes, absolutely. And just the way you express yourself and the way you're talking, I think that there's so much more in them,
Yeah.
right? That when you go back, and just the impact. So, in the process that you're doing right now, being a junior test, is this something that you want to do in the long run, or is this is just a phase, or what does your future for yourself, right? And we don't live in a future, but we
Yeah.
kind of think about it, just kind of say, hey, is that something you want to incorporate in your future?
I do want to incorporate chess in my future because I feel like what I'm learning now, like I said, there's a season for everything. So
Mm-hmm.
in this season, I feel like it's gearing me up for something bigger than myself. So I know that there's a mission that I have from God. So that's just, it's always about the assignment, it's always about the mission. So wherever God tells me to go, I will go. But I definitely love chess and I love my kids that I teach. Yeah.
Absolutely. And what are you studying at this moment?
I'm studying psychology.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why psychology?
Psychology because nobody probably would anybody admit that it's for yourself first, for myself first, and then it's for everybody else. Because I imagine me being a psychologist and I'm trying to help other people and tell people
Mm,
what to do, but I'm not setting an example first for myself
mm-hmm,
or for anyone else. But I definitely did. It was between social work and psychology.
mm-hmm,
So I definitely know that psychology is something that's very interesting to me. And it's a lot, like, you can go into a loophole studying
mm-hmm,
psychology because it's a lot of different sections, a lot of different avenues that you can take. So I'm
mm-hmm.
excited.
And what is your purpose? Like finding the tools to be able to help
Yes, help myself and help other people.
and help others. And I love that you're saying that,
Yes.
because I always say empowerment begins with me. So it begins with ourselves.
I just
And
had,
you're
sorry, I didn't want to
uh,
cut you off, but
no, go ahead.
my name on like Instagram, what I say is look within, so that kind of goes with what you're saying, like
Oh,
yourself first. Yeah,
yes.
that's smart.
Yes. And I think that's why we connected immediately, because it does. It begins, the work begins and ends with you.
Yes.
And that is an important message to get across.
Yeah.
So how what challenges have you faced as going through the healing process, right? As learning, right? Because you're pretty young, but what are the challenges that you have faced, and how have you overcame them
Mhm.
with chess, right?
Yeah.
Incorporating chess and the psychology behind it.
So I would say one challenge that come to mind, like immediately, was the fact that I had to get like over myself sometimes
Mm,
because things like stem deeper. So me doing chess, I have to public speak, so that comes with knowing how to communicate, and so I'm learning how to do that now, but I didn't before. I used to say, I would say that I'm shy and like, timid and quiet, but I don't want to claim those things because I know that's not who God made me as.
mm,
So me working on that has been very hard, and I feel like me doing social media at that, I vlog, I do YouTube, I don't call myself an influencer, I don't put a title to it, but on Instagram I encourage people and I make reels and I make stories and I make posts just to help people and show them what I'm doing that maybe they can use or maybe they don't want to use. But so for me, it's a challenge to my self esteem and my confidence because it's like, okay, you're looking at yourself all this time because you edit when you do YouTube. So you're looking at yourself, you're listening to what you're saying to yourself, and it's like hours and hours of footage. And so working on, not basing my worth off of the work that I do, but knowing that I'm rooted in God. So that's how I overcome my challenges is with God. It's
mm,
what I could honestly say. It's like prayer. Like I pray about it, and it's still challenging. I can't say that I fully overcome it, but that's one of the challenges I would say doing
that has.
chess and like what I do outside of chess.
Hmm. And I feel that we as an adult, me in my 40s, we still have these challenges. So it's just you're speaking the tools of how you overcame them, and that is the key.
Yes.
I mean, you're amazing. You're amazing. So tell us a little bit about your YouTube channel, and
Okay.
what you focus on your YouTube channel. Like, what is the niche behind it?
Okay. The niche I would say behind it is I haven't, gone like deep into like what the niche means. So can you explain it to me a little bit more?
Okay. So you have a YouTube channel, right? So what is your focus? Like my YouTube channel is focused on business and legacy. So anytime I interview someone is because you're either a business or you're leaving a legacy behind. So you're a queen already.
Yeah.
So yeah. So uh so what is yours? What is
Yeah.
that mission behind it?
So my niche I would say is helping people that aren't heard be heard by
Mm,
themselves. Because for me, it's like I'm expressing myself to myself when I make
mm,
videos. And it's like it's affirming and acknowledging that yes, you are enough, and you're helping other people see that they are enough too, and know that they're not alone, know that they're heard.
hmm.
So that would be my
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's powerful and strong. So, do you want to be a speaker? Do you see yourself being a speaker in the future?
I see it. I do.
You see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. And how, I know that when you started, you said, building your relationship with God. Tell us a little bit about that, because I firmly believe that and I told you I have a book, and I said, I wrote a book about all my hardship, right?
Yeah.
So now my decisions are based of God, right?
Yeah.
God comes first. Like
Yeah.
I don't make no decisions if he does not tell me to move. So, but but I'm asking this question because you're younger, right? And to
Yeah.
be able to recognize, like I said, I recognize this in my 30s.
Yeah.
So seeing you recognize this at a really young age, tell me, how is that relationship? How what was that relationship building like?
Okay, so I haven't always believed in Jesus Christ and God.
Mhm.
So before, I would say like maybe like I said 2019. Before that, it was like a whole, like I would say that year was just like it just elevated me. So from before that, it was my family. They believed in God, but they didn't really go to church. The only time I would go to church was with my grandma. She believed in Jesus Christ. So we would go to church. I would like it, but as I grew older, it was like I feel like to myself, like looking back when I became like a hard atheist, like I was like, I don't believe in God, I don't believe in this, I don't believe in that. I kind of shifted towards being spiritual, and so saying that, like, yes, I believe in God, but I don't believe in the ones that I now believe in. But from then on, it was like me looking into other religions. So I looked into the Muslim religion. I looked into like Buddhism. I looked in Christianity. And so what kind of geared me toward Christianity was like I want to revisit like why I don't believe in God. Like what is the reason behind that? If you can
Mhm.
believe in other things that you don't see, why don't you believe in God right now? So
Mhm.
I feel like it came from a place of like hurt, like not
Mhm.
feeling like I had people in my corner when I was growing up. So from then on, recently it was like really recent that I started going to church because I joined, like I've been volunteering a lot around the community.
Mhm.
And so I joined Safe United Neighborhoods, which is by Sandra Ben of Praying Ground Community Church. And that's the church that I go to that I love. Like they became family after I went there, and then I just been there every Sunday. Like we had a
Mhm.
youth explosion this past week. And so from Wednesday we had, I want to say, family night. Thursday we had craft night. Friday they went to the zoo, but I couldn't because I had to work. And then Saturday it was just like a big, the whole community come out, all the kids come out. So it was really great. And for me, it was like more so I had to refocus and say that, okay, the relationship is between me and God. I feel like I
Yes.
was taken in like the outside world and how they would see
Mhm.
me and all of that. And so I would say that journey is like when I started, it was like I was hardcore into the Bible and like just like every day just reading, reading, reading. But like as you get closer to God, it's like you start to see He reveals a lot to you. And so
Mm.
for me, it's been hard to be in the Bible a lot, but I know that spirit is over the
Mm.
flesh. So for
Yes.
me, it was like that's what I had to focus on, and it's like actually constantly going into the word because he gave us the word for a reason, right? So
Mhm.
it lives in us. And so for me, being as young as I am and being the only one in my house that like is living this lifestyle and like actually you know, giving my life to Christ. It's been hard by myself because I feel like now it's like I nobody really focuses on the spiritual world that much. And so from what I'm learning, it's more we're fighting against spiritual more than we're fighting against blood and flesh. And so it's like once you give your life to Christ, they think it's like it's not it's I don't want to say like they think that it's like all sunshine and stuff, but it's hard, but it's worth it. It's definitely
Mhm.
worth it. I wouldn't change anything at all.
Mm. Mm, and that's the most important part. You wouldn't change anything at all. And your relationship is with God,
Yes.
not with anything else.
Nope.
We could be part of a community
Yeah.
that what people call church and what people call right.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the
Yep.
most important is that relationship that you have with our creator.
Yes.
And like I said, I celebrate you. I congratulate you. You are amazing. Your example. You're a leader. You're entrepreneur and don't even know it is a stamp on you, honey. So just to close it out, and
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say, I didn't say you're from Delaware, New Jersey, guys. So she's in the
I'm
Delaware
I'm
community, right?
actually I'm actually from Maryland, but I grew up
Oh,
in
okay.
Delaware. So
Okay. Okay, so right now she's from Maryland.
yeah.
And so I just celebrate you and congratulate you. Thank you. And now to close up this segment, what do you have to say to all my teens out there, all this audience that is watching you? Everything, if this is your time, right? This
Yes.
is about Neveah right now. And I want you to just take the floor and speak to those people who out there, speaking to yourself first,
Yes.
like you said, right?
Yes.
And so close it out.
Okay. I want to first give a shout out to, Anointed. Gotta do it right now.
Yes.
And I also want to give a shout out to Miss Priscilla Fraser Artist, because it wouldn't have been, been, I wouldn't have even met Miss Skinner without her.
Mhm,
So she's at North Wilmington Library, and I just want to thank my family, my mom. I wouldn't be here without her because,
mhm,
obviously. But I would say to all the teens out there, oh my gosh, what would I want to say to myself? Oh,
mhm,
okay. I feel like I would just say, don't just go back to who you are. Like, just go
mhm,
back, because as you grow up, it's a lot of things that's gonna try to cover who you were initially, who you are, and who you're growing into. And so I always say that it's been in you. So who you are is already there. It's just you have to go back and find. And even if you think you're alone, there's people around you that, I feel like would help you. And even if you don't have those people, you have people on the internet. And so I would say, like, people will say don't go to the internet, but at the same time, it's people out here who are pouring to other people. Like, and so that's amazing to me, because for me it was like I went to that too, but then I also went to God. So I go to
mhm,
God first now. But yeah, that's what I would want to say to the team
mhm.
there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the opportunity, just having the honor to have you here. I think you're amazing. I think you're going to thrive and do amazing thing. My relationship with you is a lifetime relationship, so know that, okay?
Yes, yes, yes.
And with my audience. And once again, thank you, Chris Conning Anointing from Anointing, for sponsoring this program, and La Cienciani Style for sponsoring. Until next time, if you have any questions, comments, comment below. Please share her. What's your social media, where they could follow you and get more information about you?
Okay, so my Instagram and my YouTube, it is LOOKWITHINN. So look within 00. That's on my Instagram and my YouTube. So you can get a hold of me just like that.
Yeah, look within.
Yeah.
Oh, how powerful. And what best way to close it out. Thank you guys. Until next time.